This
Well,
meeting is being recorded.
Amy, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. And I say busy because I know what you do. You are a full-time teacher, but thank you for taking time to just kind of talk and have this conversation with me today. There's a lot I want to get into with you. And so let's just get straight into it. Can you share with my audience a little bit about who you are, about your family, about what you do for a living?
Okay, so I am a mom, a
Mhm.
wife, and a teacher.
Yes.
So those are three big jobs as it is. I am entering my 22nd year as a special education teacher.
Wow.
My sons are 13 and the 14-year-old's getting ready to turn 15.
Wow.
My husband works at Walmart. He's a hard worker, works a lot.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we have two cats that we're all obsessed with. We like to go camping. We do spend a lot of time together as a family. I'm very, very blessed for that because I know that that might be coming to an end, in the next few years. So we really do enjoy spending time, even when they drive me nuts. And
Yes.
I'm very passionate about my job. I love what I do. I love my students, and I advocate for them. Any kid, anytime, if they need something, I'm going to be the one that's going to get it for them if they need it.
Wow. Well, we love that you love your job as a teacher. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. That doesn't have anything to do with today's topic, but I think it's important for teachers to love their jobs because they're dealing with our children, our babies, and the next
Yes.
generation, the future of this country. So thank you and I can just tell my audience that I've seen how passionate you are about your work. We're Facebook friends. And let me tell you, this is a woman who loves what she does. So thank you for doing what you do, Amy. We really appreciate it. So let's talk a little bit about the subject of the day, which is alcoholism. Can you share with us, share with my audience, when did you first realize that your alcohol consumption was a problem? Because people drink alcohol. That's not anything surprising. But when did you first realize it was a problem for you?
I think it's probably always been a problem, but
Okay.
I didn't think it was a problem. Definitely was a binge drinker.
Okay.
When I drank, I would drink with the idea to get messed up. Like
Okay.
if I was going to drink, I'm going to drink to get drunk.
Right.
And so I probably started abusing alcohol when I was 15 or 16 and just have steady ridden that tide all the way to when I was 44. I quit when I was
Wow.
44. I just
Yes.
passed the 200-day mark because I
Wow.
do keep a tally.
Yay.
I just said thank you. I just
Yes.
passed 200 days that I haven't had alcohol. I drink a ton of
Wow.
non-alcoholic beer though, because I do like the
Yeah,
taste
I
of beer.
understand.
I always have.
Oh, wow.
But now that I'm on the other side of it,
Yes.
I can see, and I wish I had stopped a lot sooner,
Yeah.
but I
It
can't
is what it
go
is.
back in the past. Yes, ma'am. So
Absolutely. It is what it is. Yeah.
I'm
You
happy
said,
that I finally did it.
yeah, and what a big deal this is, that you came to this place, this awareness, this aha moment that you've completed 200 days. That is super impressive. Keep up the good work. You said
Thank you.
something a minute ago that I think is very telling, and I want people to hear it because I've seen it and I've heard it from friends and from colleagues and just even from strangers, even people posting on Facebook. You said, I drank to, you always went into it with the feeling I'm going to drink to get drunk, that I'm going to get wasted. But people talk about that. They post about that as if it's a good thing. You know what I mean? I mean, that's like a common thing I've seen people say, can't wait to get wasted, but not
Yes.
really. I don't think that people understand that that's not a good thing.
No.
What would you say to that?
I think it's socially acceptable.
Yes.
Everywhere, like once I stopped and I was more aware,
Yeah.
it's in music,
Yes.
it's in
Everywhere.
posts. I was looking at a TikTok with these three women. They were moms and they were doing this
Yes.
cute little dance, but the
Yes.
subtitle was "On Our Way to Get Annihilated." Like
Oh,
three
wow.
moms that their
Wow.
mission, and I get
Wow.
it because I
Wow.
was there. I
Right,
was there.
right, right.
My friend, I have a coworker, Allie, who also was not drinking, and she
Yes.
said that someone said to her, alcohol is the only drug that people will ask you why you're not doing it.
Oh my goodness. That is
And it's
such an
true.
eye-opening comment.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Well, and
I
like you
mean,
said a second ago, it's so acceptable.
it is. I've had a lot of friends be very supportive. And I know that some of my friends, like, miss the drunk Amy, but
Right.
sober Amy's fun too now. I mean, because
Wow. That's
sometimes drunk
exactly
Amy's not
right.
that fun.
Wow, wow. And I think you also bring to light, and you sharing your story, I think also kind of speaks to what do you call well, not myths that drunk, that people who drink only look and sound and are a certain way. But here you are, this mom, this professional, you're a teacher, you're married, you're this white woman who has a nice home. I think it's important to say that alcoholism comes in all shapes, colors, creeds, the whole thing. And I think it's important to dispel the myth. What do you say to that?
Oh, I definitely agree. I think that people just,
Yeah.
it's like putting milk on your cereal. Let's go have a
Yes.
drink.
Right.
I'm thankful that a lot of places are now making mocktails. That seems to be on the rise.
Oh,
I think
really?
a lot of people are starting to realize, I can't blame it on the pandemic because I abused alcohol before the pandemic. That didn't help.
Right. Okay.
Um, but
Yes.
I just woke up one morning and I was tired of it. I was
Wow.
just tired
Wow.
of feeling bad. I was
Yes.
tired of forgetting stuff.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And I was tired of, I didn't want to be the drunk mom. I really
Wow.
didn't. And I probably already was. I just didn't want to admit to it.
Right.
And my
Right.
boys have been one of my biggest supporters. Like
Wow.
they love the fact that I don't drink anymore.
Oh, that's wonderful. And this goes actually, what you just said is a great segue to my next question. You sort of described it, but you can go into it a little bit more. What did alcoholism look like for you? You sort of led into that just now, but you can elaborate a little bit more. What did that look like on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, so I'm a Gemini. I'm either all in or I'm all
Yes,
out. There's
yes,
no gray. That's why
yes,
I'm like crazy teacher lady.
yes, yes.
So when I would drink, if I was going to drink, I wouldn't just have 2 beers.
Okay,
So my problem would be if I decided to have, like Friday and Saturday, I didn't care because I knew
okay,
the next day I could
right,
recoup. But
right,
and I would say as a joke, Sunday was my flex day. But if
right.
I made the decision to drink Sunday through Thursday night,
Yes.
it was always a bad idea because I would think I'd have a couple beers, but I really wouldn't stop. I would just
Oh,
keep on drinking. And then the next day I would really, really feel badly. Then you add
oh,
to the fact that I have 2 months unpaid time off in the
right.
summer.
That's
I
true.
would drink a lot in the summer. I would
Okay.
drink over Christmas break. I would
Oh,
drink on
wow.
spring break. And it
Wow.
wasn't good for me because I would
No.
think about what do I have to do tomorrow? Nothing.
Yes.
So I'll drink this bottle of wine.
Wow. So that's how you went through life, just working it around or working, drinking around what you had to do
Yes.
or not have to do.
I would always think about what I had to do, get all my
Yes.
tasks done for the day.
Yes.
And then it's crazy to me to look back on it because when now I have to go places, right?
Yes.
Let's say I'm going to a social engagement. If it
Yes.
was just me going,
Yes.
I would find a way
Yeah.
to get a ride
Yeah.
so that I could drink and not drink and drive.
Oh my goodness.
So
So
now
you
it's like
really were working it around the
I can
alcohol.
go whenever I want to go. Yeah, like my son
Wow.
Joshua, he got off at like 8 or 6 o'clock.
Yes.
I was fine to pick him up. I'm at the pool. I'm
Wow.
not having any cocktails. I'm good. But Amy of last summer
Yes.
would have probably been inconvenienced a couple of times
Oh,
and had
wow.
to wait till she picked up her son.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's I didn't realize how liberating this was going to be
Yes.
for me.
And it
It really
sounds like
is.
you are liberated. I mean, I can just in everything you just, because you were having to manipulate schedules around your drinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
like I said, it's almost embarrassing to think back on it. But again,
Yeah. It's
I
a part
mean,
of the
it is what
healing
it is, and
process.
I can only move from here. Um,
Absolutely.
I've
Absolutely.
admit, like, my sons know that nobody's perfect and I made the mistake, and I told them
Yes.
they need to be careful
Yes.
because obviously
Yes.
they have that predisposition too, and they
Yes.
need to watch
Yes.
out.
Yes.
And my husband still drinks. It doesn't bother me.
Right. Yeah.
It
That's right.
doesn't
Because
bother me at all.
that's, and you know what? You know that that's freedom when you can look at somebody else drink and say, you know what? That's them, but that's not me. And that's freedom, Amy.
Yes.
What a blessing. How is your family? How is your friends? How have they supported you in this? This is a big life change. And we don't make these big changes in the vacuum. How have they supported you? And maybe where are you going to get support? What does support look like for you?
So when I first started, I didn't go out that much because
Right,
I didn't want to be tempted.
right.
So I just kind of stuck at home, which,
Yeah,
I like to stick at home anyway. If I'm going to
right,
hang out with anybody, I want to hang out with my husband.
right. Got
And that's my
nice.
best friend. So that's who I
Right,
want to hang out with. I'm not
right,
missing anything by not going out as long as he's home with me.
right.
So he would just have a couple drinks, and I started trying all these different non-alcoholic beers. When I was
Yes,
pregnant and I gave up drinking, they only
yeah,
had O'Doul's, but now they
right.
have, which is still good,
Yes.
so many good beers. They're craft
Really,
beers. They're
really.
expensive,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Because
Okay.
they make, but they're delicious. So it tastes
Okay.
just like, to me, it tastes like a real beer because I'm not drinking beer anymore.
Right.
So it satisfies that itch for me.
That's great.
So
That's
I tried
amazing.
the non-alcoholic wine. It's not that great, but
Oh,
that's okay.
right.
Because wine kind of gives you a warm feeling,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
not going to get that unless you have the alcohol. So
yeah,
that's just something I'm not going to have anymore, and that's fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the beer is perfect for me. I really do
Wow.
enjoy the beer. And then I'll take non-alcoholic beer with me. We go hang out with friends. We
That's
go to the
good.
pool. We go to the
That's
beach.
good.
I just bring non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good. And you know, it sounds almost like, and I don't want to minimize it in any way, but if I'm just relating to it in terms that I can relate to personally, and also in just in things I've seen with other people. You know, for instance, I've got friends and family who are diabetics, and they bring, of course, they always have their insulin with them. They know when they need to take it. My stepfather, he's God rest his soul, he used to bring, if he would, if he knew he might have a, what do you call, like a dip, he would bring a little bit of a candy bar with them to raise his blood sugar levels. But all of that, knowing and understanding his condition, and then just responding accordingly. And I think that's what we have to do. I think it's one of those things that is going to always be with us.
Mhm.
But you have to manage it. You know what I mean? What do you think about that? I mean, and it sounds like you're managing this thing day by day.
Yes. Originally, I was talking to my co-teacher, Lexi, about it, and she was like, originally when you started this,
Yeah,
you didn't have the idea that you were going to quit entirely. I was like, no, I was just going to stop
right,
and then slowly reintroduce it. But
right.
I know for a fact that I'm not ready to reintroduce it.
Yeah,
I'm not that I'm weak, but I'm weak. Like I
right.
know
And
I'm
and
just going to
and
go.
that's, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
Wow.
can have
Right,
8 non-alcoholic beers on a Friday night because I
right,
like the taste.
right,
So, I mean, that I would just end up having 8 real beers and
right.
then it would begin all over again.
Exactly, exactly. But you know what? You admitted something. You said, "I know I'm weak." I mean, and I think that's part of the recovery process, is telling ourselves the truth. Whatever we're trying to recover from. And so I was married to an alcoholic at one point. So I was on the other side of how this was, and it was hard. And for years went to Al-Anon as a spouse of someone who was addicted to alcohol and drugs. So and he, one of the problems was he never could get to a place where he told himself the truth.
Yes.
And you can't start recovery without the truth. So kudos to you for doing what you do and being where you are now.
Thank you.
Question: what would you say, and I think this is super super important, I want my audience to hear this, what would you say to someone listening to this, to our interview, who says, oh gosh, her story is similar to my story, I might have a problem with alcohol or alcoholism? What would you tell that person right now?
I would tell that person to be truthful with themselves because they know
Yeah,
the answer. They
Wow.
know the answer. Like, I dated the idea of quitting alcohol for like 2 years
Oh my.
before finally that was it for me, like, finally. So everyone has to reach their own point, but
Yeah.
I would just even suggest try it for a week, try it for a
Wow.
month, just see, because like then you'll start to notice, wow, I kind of do
Yeah.
want to have a drink,
Yes.
and it's
Yeah.
it is tough, especially in today's culture. It's not like, you can't go around smoking crack at a party. That's frowned upon, apparently. I'm just
Right.
kidding. I know it's frowned upon. But like, you can sit there with a cocktail and like,
Right. And it's perfectly fine. It's
oh, look,
perfectly
so and so
acceptable.
got drunk last night. Like, it's ha
Yeah.
ha ha ha,
Right.
no
Right. It's a
big
big
deal.
joke. That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly
But I
right.
don't think people realize that their
Yeah.
children are watching.
Oh wow.
Then the children,
Wow.
I think it's definitely getting worse with moms
Yes.
because they're making it seem like we deserve this glass of wine after a hard day. Because yeah,
Yes.
we have
Yes.
being a mom is tough. I'm not going to
Yeah.
lie about that
It
at all.
is. It
It's
is. Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah.
But the reward, I mean,
Yeah.
if you can sit and have a glass of wine as a reward and you can stop,
Yes.
then God bless you. But
Right.
my body chemistry is not made that way, and I think a lot of
Exactly.
people also have that issue. So they
And
have to
so
find something else.
you're right. And you mentioned something. My daughter and I were discussing this a few days ago. She said, Mom, the whole wine mom thing, it's like a big deal. Um, Moms are drinking wine like in the day. And I mean, it's a big deal. And so I didn't realize that, Amy. I don't know. I mean, what do you have any thoughts about why that's kind of a thing and where that came from? Or is it just the stress of it all? Are we trying to keep all the balls in the air and we just need something to de-stress us? Why, or has it always been that way and it's just sort of coming out of the closet? What do you think about that?
I think it's probably always been like that, but
Okay.
now it's almost like not in vogue, but
Yeah,
definitely socially acceptable, but kind of like
definitely.
cute and silly to laugh about.
Exactly. Exactly.
But the people that aren't laughing are the
Yeah,
kids
that's
because
exactly right.
they got the drunk mom making a
Yeah.
scene at a party. And
Oh my.
that's,
Sad.
that's
Yeah.
that's gonna stay with them. So my sons have been a great support system. My husband, I go to
Yes.
therapy. I'm a huge proponent of.
Yes, me too.
That's been very helpful. And
Yes.
I was going to therapy way before I
Okay.
decided
Right.
to quit drinking.
Right.
Um, but even when I would tell stories in therapy about me drinking, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
uh, and he would ask, has your alcohol consumption affected your relationship with your husband? I'm like, no, Donald drinks too.
Okay. So
But like
that's how you,
Donald can have a couple beers and stop, and I'm
yes.
just,
Yeah, you're heading out. Yeah. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
not good.
yeah.
So again, I knew it was there.
Yeah.
I didn't want to admit to it.
Right, right, right. So
And then I was,
honesty it sounds like the first step to healing, to recovery, to to the next to freedom. It sounds like. What do you think?
yes,
Honesty. Yeah. Because that's what it's, I mean, and like I said, I have not had the problem with alcohol, but I've had the problem with other things. And recovery did not begin for me until I got honest and just said, Deanna, this is a problem. So I think that's the beauty of it all. No matter what we're trying to recover from, honesty is the first step,
yes.
and getting the support we need, from
And
that
that's the
point.
hardest step too, because
It is.
I have family members with other, maybe
Yeah.
alcohol, but other
Yes.
issues. And whenever something happens, it's never their fault. It's
Never.
always something else's fault.
No,
But you
always.
can't grow as a person until
No.
you say, I screwed
Yes.
up. Like, I'm
That's
not
right.
happy about it, but I
Yeah.
messed up. So
Exactly.
I'm going to change my behavior
Yes.
and make better choices instead of
Yes.
just keep on apologizing when I do the same thing over and over again.
Exactly. Amy,
But
I
not
couldn't have
everybody's
said
like
it
that.
better. That's exactly right. Wow. Well, you know what? This has been eye-opening and inspirational to me. I think and believe that others who hear this, um, this could be this could be a point for them to get honest and to get healing and recovery that they need. I just appreciate you sharing your story. You've been so open with it. The reason I even approached you is because I saw some of your stories on Facebook and I thought this woman is amazing. I just think it's wonderful that you were willing to share your story, because a lot of people won't. But I think it's not only healing for you, I think it's healing for others who are struggling, not just with alcoholism, but with other things. So thank you for being so open and honest and candid. It is refreshing in a very dishonest world.
I think that you got to know what gifts God gives you, and
Yes.
God has made me a teacher, not just in the classroom, but everywhere. So if
You're right.
somebody can learn from what I say, if one person can be
Yes.
helped by something I say,
Yes.
then I'm going to say it. I always
Gosh.
think like, should I post this? People, but you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
know. I think
Haters are
about
going to
that
hate.
too. Yeah,
They can just whatever. But
that's
I'm
it.
trying to keep it light and fluffy. I'm
Yes.
trying to bring positivity, and I'm
Yes.
trying to tell people my life might look great on paper,
Right. But I
or
got
on
struggles.
Facebook or on
That's right.
Instagram.
That's right.
But behind closed doors, it's a
Yes.
hot mess sometimes. And it's
Well,
okay to
you
show
know,
people that.
and you know what, and you know what, that's why I feel like, although we've never met in person, and you know, we have a common friend who's introduced us, I feel like you are a kindred spirit, because
I agree.
that is the same approach that I have to life. That's why I share the stories I share. That's why I talk about mental health issues, and you
Yes.
know, and the struggle that my daughter's having. It's a fine line, because she's the one with the mental health issue, and I try not to violate her privacy. But we are, as her family, and particularly as her mother, we're in the struggle with her, and it is such there have been, let's just say, there have been a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of sleepless nights. So I share that, and like you said, if you can help one person, and I will tell you, I cannot tell you how many people have reached out to me, said, we just discovered that my child or my husband has been diagnosed with X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
Where do I go for help? Who do I talk to? I'm
Yes.
stressed, you know, we don't know what to do. So I know it helps people when we share these stories. So just thank you for sharing. It's a good thing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. I
All
appreciate
right,
you.
and we will talk soon. Love you, sister.
Love you too.
All right,
Thanks.
bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I wasn't sure if I was